A few weeks ago, I presented a formula to build fascia strength. And this is a formula I use to create some of my fascia strength exercises. The formula is getting good alignment, meaning stretch the fascia wetsuit with a good posture. Add a balance challenge. In this case, we'll do a one-legged balance. And then third, we add an external force to that balance challenge. In the previous video, I had a medicine ball as the balance challenge. Here we're going to use a stick. So you're going to need a stick for this exercise. Nothing fancy, just needs to be something 4 feet, 5 feet, maybe 6 feet long. And you can literally just take a mop stick or a broom stick, unscrew the mop or the broom part so you just have the stick, and that will work. You can go outside if you need to and get a 4-foot straight branch, just so you have a stick in your hand to do this work. All right, first thing we're going to do is get in good alignment. Make sure your head is suspended up towards the sky. The body is relaxed downwards, so you feel like the head is up and the body is relaxed down into your feet. You should feel a little stretch in your spine when you do that. My head up, relax the shoulders down. Chin parallel to the ground. Don't tip that chin up. Keep it parallel with the suspended head at the crown. Chest is wide, upper back is wide, so I got this nice structure. Feel your hips are relaxed though in this good structure. You're not so aligned that you create muscle tension, now you can't move. Okay, we need to be relaxed. All right. So that's our alignment. The balance now we're going to do is we're going to go on one leg. And once I'm on that one leg, the external force load I'm going to use as a light stick, but I'm going to add some complexity to the movement where I'm doing this kayak paddle both backwards and forwards. So you can just practice maybe on 2 feet at first to get the kayak paddle down. If I was sitting in a kayak right now, I would be paddling it forwards. If I wanted to go backwards in the kayak, I would just reverse that motion. Now as I'm doing this motion, I'm trying to keep my shoulders down. Don't start lifting your arms and your shoulders up into your ears. Keep them down so they're connected to the fascia wetsuit. And just get that motion down on 2 feet. And then once you start getting it, go ahead and go on 1 foot. And keep relaxed, make sure you're breathing. If you hold breath, you'll get tense. So make sure you're breathing. Whenever you're going to lose balance, let's say I get a little tight here, instead of holding it with white knuckle tension, I can do one of two things. I can go ahead and relax or change feet. If I get tense right here, I'm going to lose balance. I can relax, self-right myself back into alignment, or if I get, let's say I'm back here tense, I can just take a step. I lose balance, take a step. An animal, he doesn't try to keep balance by holding it with white knuckle. He's always replacing 1 foot with the next foot. That's sure-footedness. We want to work on our sure-footedness, so if I get out of alignment and balance, I just take a step. And the goal is to do this paddling motion on one leg and make it dynamic, meaning just make it your own. Do instinctive things, like right here. I'll give you a little move here to play with. I'm kayaking backwards. I just take the stick, come back around my head. Try it again, it comes back around, and then I go forwards. So you can play with this and make it your own. I don't want to give you a pattern or a set form. I want you to promote using instinctive movement just to move freely as you work these qualities: alignment, balance challenge, and the external force of the stick. Don't forget, this fascia strength that we're creating is that mystery force, that mystery strength and power that the greatest athletes and martial artists have. That's a combination of strength from elasticity, springiness in their body, and cat-like agility that gives them this big advantage when moving dynamically. Also, the process of building fascia strength has a way of healing the body, not breaking it down like a lot of workout plans do, but actually healing the body as we get stronger and more agile. So in my Fascia Strength and Power program, I teach one of my core principles is move from center, meaning I don't want to move from my arms and shoulders and my hips like humans do. We do that, we get worse as we get older, and we create this undue tension in our hips and shoulders. An animal in the wild, and probably you when you were younger, you did most of your movement from center. And when I mean center, I mean the waistline, sides, low back, kind of the whole core area around your midsection. That should be the engine of your movement. So when I'm doing this kayak motion, I don't want my shoulders and arms to be doing all the work like most people do. I want to think that my center is the engine moving the stick. And that can be hard for people at first to understand. You can think of the center as being relaxed, and there's like maybe a bag of water in it, and you're kind of like moving that water around directionally, the same direction as you're moving the stick in your hands. So your center is in time with this internal movement of the movement that's coming out of your hands, in this case with the stick. That's a big difference than me moving from shoulders and arms where I got this tension. Because once I got that tension in my shoulders come up and I disconnect my body, my upper body from my lower body. Okay, when I disconnect upper body to lower body, I'm not nearly as strong. I lose my fascia strength, I'm disconnected. But when I move from center, and you can just slow things down so you can feel that, when I move from center, right now I feel inside my core area, it's actually moving, kind of like churning, like a gear in the same direction as my arms are moving with the stick. And you just play with this till you get it. At first it's challenging, but you'll figure it out. But when I do move from center, I notice I can feel the bottoms of my feet. When I move from my shoulders and my arms, I can't feel my feet as much because I'm locked up in my tension. If I can't feel my feet on the ground when I'm exerting force out of my hands like with this stick, that means I'm disconnected. So we get better at moving from center. Once you feel comfortable with a light stick being on one leg doing this paddle motion, you can start adding load by using a weighted bar. Right here I got a 9-pound bar instead of that light stick that only weighs maybe a pound or two, and I do the same exercise. 9 pounds doesn't sound like much, but to move freely from center on one leg is a bit of a challenge. One thing you can do is just take your stick and tie like a 1 or 2 pound dumbbell with duct tape around each ends. I've done that too. So now maybe you only have a 5-pound bar in your hand. 9 pounds gets, a little bit challenging to keep your shoulders relaxed as you do the movement. If I start adding weight, I know myself, once I get to about 20-25 pounds, if I got a 25-pound bar in my hand, now all of a sudden my free movement from my center, I resort to muscle tension in my shoulders, and it's just a little too heavy for me to work with. That means it's too heavy. Go lower. We never want to sacrifice free movement and agility with muscle contraction. Meaning if I start contracting the body inwards, I can't keep that open structure and move from center freely. That means I'm too heavy. This 9-pound is really nice. A lot of times I'll use this one for like about a 5-minute set of this work. After just 5 minutes or so of doing this work to do this video, that one-legged balance drill I was just doing, I feel an energy boost. This is one of the reasons why fascia strength and power is my preferred method of exercise. This work, when you're doing it right, gives you an energy boost. And it's addictive. It makes you feel good. And it's not the typical energy boost you get from other exercise, where it's more of an adrenaline rush after you exercise, maybe like a caffeine buzz that kind of wears off and you end up maybe a little more fatigued than you were when you started. This is an energy buzz that sustains itself throughout the day. I believe when we open our body, breathe freely, stimulate the fascia strength instead of the contractile muscle strength, we feed our organs healthy energy, we clear our mind, and it's just a great way to live. If you own the Fascia Strength and Power program, I just added an exercise called Move from Center with Stick. And in that exercise, I have a stick in my hand and I show you an exercise where you can work on getting better at moving from center, a key skill in the program. If you don't own the program, I'll leave the link below if you're interested in taking a look. That's all I have for you today. We'll see you on the next video.